Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix, and it is time for the Quick 3 Tarot for Thursday, October the 27th. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and cover some things before I go into this reading. So, yesterday, for those of you who watched or listened to the reading yesterday, the anonymous card that was in that tarot deck, because remember, there's a plane or I was about to say a train flying over. But yeah, there's something flying over right now. But anyways, in the tarot deck that I don't use that often, that card was the Queen of Pentacles, or the Queen of Coins. So yeah, it wasn't the Ace of Coins or the Sun, it was the Queen of Coins. But the message was still the same. It was an upgrade. Now, on that, with the Nine of Pentacles showing up, again, upgrading from the Nine of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles, it can be an upgrade in that way or in a relationship, because don't forget that the King of Pentacles showed up too. So for some of those people that reading resonated with, it could be a love situation where someone is of means and then they make an offer to another person, and then that person who is single becomes married to the King of Pentacles, which makes her the Queen of Pentacles, or him, or whatever, because again, there's no gender in tarot, it's just the energy. But that's one of the things that it could be too. But regardless, it's still an upgrade, which is what it was about. But I thought it was funny, as soon as I finished the reading, I was looking at the card, and then right in front of my face, I see Queen of Coins, and I'm like, really? Because I was looking dead at the card before and I wasn't seeing it, but whatever. Okay, so as for another reading too, the Halloween reading I will be doing more than likely tomorrow. I'm doing it differently because I'm using another deck that I don't use that often, and I want to pull the cards and then clarify. So the deck that I'm using for the Halloween reading will be the Nostradamus deck, and it's not like the regular tarot deck. It's different. So I want to use that deck, and I will use the Haunted House tarot deck to clarify the cards that I pull in the Nostradamus deck. But I will pull everything beforehand and take my notes beforehand, and then I will deliver the message, is what I will do. November's readings, the general reading for all the signs are up. The love readings for all the signs are up. The goal is to work on the money readings for all the signs for November this coming weekend. So I will be working on those, even though I want to go see Black Adam again. If you haven't seen Black Adam, you should go see Black Adam if you're into comic book stuff, because I enjoyed the movie. Even though critics were hating on it, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really entertaining. So yeah, anyways, that's what I have to say about that. As for this current reading, so, and also take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading energy and tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. Now that we said all that. Yeah, so for this pre-shuffle energy, this card was at the bottom of the deck, which is a woman holding a coin. I feel like some of the energy that we pulled on yesterday, remember about an upgrade, because clearly woman holding a coin is Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles type energy. So I feel we're in that same energy. Now, one of the cards that came out during the pre-shuffle was contract. So some of you may be looking at entrepreneurship, starting businesses, or signing something. You may find yourself signing a contract maybe today or over the next few days. One thing that came to me, because another card that came out is Healer of the Ages, it was strange. And this is very specific. Some of you may be starting a daycare, or you may be starting an adult daycare, working with senior citizens and stuff like that, where senior citizens can go and do stuff. Like my grandmother, when she was alive, that's what she would do. She would go to some place because she's like, oh no, I got to go to such and such. Because I asked her about something, or anytime I ask her something, she's like, no, I got to go to the center. I got to go to the center. And what she would do a few days a week, she'd go to the center with other people her age, and then they would just sit around and play cards, or I guess watch movies, or do whatever, you know. And I think the time was like from 10 to 3 or something like that. It was just for a few hours, every other day or whatever, or every day during the week, where they get together. I feel like some of you may start something like that, or you may actually start a retirement home. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. So yeah, that's the energy on that part. Let's go ahead and get into the main energy. May I have the energy for the collective for Thursday, October 27th? May I have the energy for the collective for Thursday, October 27th? I heard refuge in my head while I was saying that. Some of you might be starting some type of refuge for people. It could be like a daycare center, it could be an old folks, adult daycare, retirement home, old folks home. Also, another thing I heard is foster care, something like that. Something is like a refuge for people who need help or who are looking to, I need the word, please. That's a little strong. I heard salvation. I feel that's laying it on a little thick, but whatever. Where people are looking to recharge themselves, it's something to restore people, is what it is. So yeah, may I have the energy for the collective for Thursday, October 27th? What is it that the collective needs to... Something's telling me to take this card. I have no idea what this card is. I'm going to set it to the side. Something told me to take it. What is it that the collective needs to hear? What is it that the collective needs to hear? Something told me to set this card to the side. Okay. A lot of cards being set to the side here. What is it that the collective needs to hear? May I have 2 cards, please? Because I already have one of the 3. Oh, wow. It gave me exactly 2. Okay. I see you. Okay. Whoa. Okay, this just got interesting. I also have to pull out my book, because that one I don't deal with that much. So I'll pull out my book for that second one. But the first card, this is the one something told me to set to the side. I didn't know what it was, but now we do. Strategy. So going back to, remember when I was telling you I'm trying to get comfortable in this chair and it is just not happening. Okay. Now, remember when I was telling you that some of you may be starting businesses, signing contracts. And it's interesting that with this strategy, there's a quill right here. For those of you who don't know, a quill is a writing instrument. It's pretty much the pen they used to use back in the day. So for some of you, this contract that you're signing or contracts that you may be signing may be part of your strategy, is what it may be. What I can tell you is that you're taking your time with whatever you're planning. And then for those of you who are just starting, is saying you need to take your time with whatever you are planning. Don't just jump into something without having some type of plan together. The plan doesn't have to be perfect, because there are really no perfect plans. The only thing that you can do is put something together and do your best to follow it, and then adjust as you go through the process. But I feel that there's something about refuge here. Now, number 38 came out, and I'm literally pulling that up now. So this is the 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael. And this is what it says. I'll read it to you. It says, Raphael extends a beautiful green energy, surrounded by gentle waves of pink to your heart center. This card upright dictates that you now have a greater readiness to restore love, to receive love from others. I blame the lighting. To receive love from others, as well as from yourself. It could also indicate that a much needed healing from a previous broken heart is taking place. Something just said to me that might be one of the reasons why somebody, if it's resonating with them, why you're starting like this refuge, because you're doing it. For some of you, you've healed from a situation, and for others who have faced a similar situation, you want them to heal from it too, which is why you're doing what you're doing to help them. And then for others of you, you're looking to heal together, if that makes sense. So just throwing that out there. Now, it says, the tender vibrations of Raphael remind you to encourage yourself with compassionate self-talk that you desire to hear from others. Know that as you do, the light from your heart center will shine with an incredible beauty, and the universe will send people in situations that cause your sense of love and support to grow and grow. So this is pretty much saying, as you open your heart, more fulfillment, more people will come into that vibration, is what it's saying. Now, the other card was the Goddess of the Moon. Again, I think of secrets in a way when it comes to this card, but also I think of being in touch with your intuition, because the moon deals with intuition. So keep that in mind too. And what it says is, this card shows an external spirit holding the bright, effective moon and standing in front of the crystal clear waters of the sparkling waterfall. Her arms are stretched upward, receiving the light of the moon, the light of inspiration. This card is all about intuition. What'd I tell you? The ability to receive insights from your soul's point of view. Receiving the card upright tells you that you have the power to get intuitive information on all types of issues. And now is the time to use it. So this is saying, listen to your intuition. Something just told me, when you're planning your strategy, your intuition is going to play a huge role in that. With planning your strategy. When you're planning stuff out, listen to your gut. What is your gut telling you as you're planning your strategy? And then the card that I set to the side as well, which at the very beginning, we'll see what this is. Wow. Door to romance. So for some of you, this could be you getting back into the love game with the door to romance. And something is saying with this fourth chakra, with Archangel Raphael, that as you're opening your heart, you're opening the door to romance too. So this could all be within the same timeline, or this could be two different timelines. Some of you, going back to what I was talking about, starting a business, or having the refuge that you're setting up for some people, this could lead to romance. Where if you're working with someone, or you bring it, like for example, let's just say you start a 501c3 and you now have these people coming in who want to donate to your charity. Maybe one of those people making a donation, there ends up being a spark there or something. Or let's say that you're starting the daycare center, like I said. You may need a contractor to make sure that the building is up to code and everything else. Maybe one of the people working on the job, you might catch their eye, or they might catch yours. And then, they're door to romance. Now, if it's not within the same timeline, and this is all separate timelines, this could be a situation where you're the woman holding the coin, and because you know that you are independent and you're financially stable, and in some situations well off, because you're holding the coin, you may be hesitant dealing with people because you may think that they only want you for your money. Just throwing that out there. But now with this fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael, as you're opening your heart, you're opening the door to romance. But when going through the dating process, you need to have a strategy, and you need to listen to your intuition. All right? So that is your message. I'm titling this because the main energy for me is there's some type of refuge being set up. So I'm going to title this Building a Refuge. But I'll mention in the description, hey, there could be another timeline here. as well. All right, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Till next time, be blessed.